You know that feeling, right? That horrible slow motion moment where your phone is flying through the air or your coffee mug starts to tip over right next to your laptop. It is a universal feeling of absolute dread. But is the answer to that fear just another monthly payment? Today, we're going to dig in and ask, is AppleCare really worth it? And could there be a smarter way to protect your gear? So let's just start with this one. Kind of staggering number. $40 billion. Dollars with a B. That's how big the mobile insurance market is right now. It's an entire industry built on our collective fear of that one single catastrophic drop. And, it makes sense why this market is so huge. Our entire lives are wrapped up in these expensive, beautiful, and, let's be real, incredibly fragile pieces of glass and metal. So, of course, $1 billion safety net sounds like a pretty logical idea. And this isn't just a big market. It's absolutely exploding. It's projected to more than double in the next decade, hitting over $83 billion. The demand for that personal safety net, it's just getting stronger and stronger. And when you think about protecting your tech, one name probably pops into your head before any other: AppleCare Plus. It's Apple's own in-house plan, it's an extended warranty, sure, but it also covers accidental damage. The whole pitch is that it's the ultimate peace of mind for your precious iPhone or MacBook. But this is where things get kinda weird. It brings us to what I'm calling the AppleCare paradox. How can the most famous protection plan on the planet also be one of the most unpopular? I mean, on the one hand, AppleCare is a monster success. Just look at this. Back in 2021, it raked in an estimated $8.5 billion in sales. That is a huge number. It suggests that this is a product people are lining up to buy. But here's the twist. When you stack it up against Apple's other paid services, AppleCare Plus is dead last. Only about 11% of iPhone owners actually subscribe. So even with all that revenue, that means almost 90% of users are consciously saying, "Nah, I'll take my chances." Why is that? Well, to understand that, we need to look beyond the price of a new screen. We have to explore the real, total cost of an accident and what your insurance plan probably forgets to tell you about. And make no mistake, the risk is not small. Anecdotal data suggests that about a third of us laptop users will have some kind of liquid incident. It's the classic tech tragedy, right? The dreaded coffee spill. So, if we all know the risk is that high, what is the insurance model missing? What's the catch that makes almost 9 out of 10 people say, no thank you? It's because insurance is designed to fix the hardware. But the real pain, the real cost, it's all this other stuff, the intangible stuff. We're talking lost photos and project files, the work downtime that you can't get back, having to rebuy software, and of course, the pure agonizing stress of just dealing with the claim itself. A check for a new laptop doesn't cover any of that. And this frustration, it's everywhere. You don't have to look far to find it. When a claim gets tricky, especially with something like liquid damage, which can be hard to prove, that safety net can suddenly feel a lot more like a trap. As one person put it on an Apple forum, it felt like a scam after they were quoted a huge repair bill for something they thought was covered. All of this kind of forces us to look at the problem from a totally different angle, a completely different philosophy. What if, instead of just planning for disaster, we focused on preventing the disaster in the first place? It's a simple idea, but it's a powerful one. You shift from being reactive, waiting for the break, to being proactive. You're not just parking an ambulance at the bottom of the cliff, you're building a fence at the top. And hey, this isn't just some abstract idea. Look at this. This is a real patent from an inventor named Yu Pao Chen. It's for a protective keyboard wrap. This isn't an insurance policy, it's not a subscription, it's a physical barrier. Its one and only job is to stop that coffee or those crumbs from ever getting into the guts of your machine. Okay, so we've got these two very different ways of thinking. So how do we use this to build a smarter protection playbook for ourselves? How should you actually think about keeping your stuff safe? It really boils down to this. On one side, you've got insurance, which is the cure. It's totally reactive. It only shows up to help after the damage is already done. Then you've got prevention, which is the barrier. It's proactive. Its whole goal is to stop the damage before it can even start. And that doesn't just protect your hardware. It protects your data, your time, and your sanity. But look, this isn't about saying one is good and the other is bad. Not at all.
In fact, the smartest strategy is probably a mix of both. You could use simple physical prevention for the everyday risks, like spills, and maybe keep an insurance plan in your back pocket for a true catastrophe, like if your device gets stolen or takes a really serious fall.
And so that's the question I want to leave you with. When you think about the tech that you depend on every single day, what does real peace of mind look like? Is it having a solid plan for dealing with disaster, or is it having a plan to avoid the disaster altogether? Your answer to that, it might just change everything.